need to be saving what has the biggest pool of answers for that stage in my eyes, because that's when you're going to 100%, at least in my eyes, reveal where exactly this Enigma is going to be laning. Disruptor kind of leads you to believe that it is going to be an off-lane Undying, doesn't it? And, I mean, Disruptor, not super confident with this one being able to counter the Enigma. Yes, you could use the Glimpse to be able to stop the Black Hole, so that's nice, especially pre-BKB. And you could use the Static Storm, of course, on top of all of this as well. But in terms of the laning stage, not so great. You know, the Disruptor, you use the Thunder Strike, you just split the Eidolons up, and then you're super happy.
Let's see if Vici look to address the Undying, and well, they're going to go back into the Tusk. So they get their combo, Enigma, Tusk, and also a hero that I think was a big reason why they're able to take game one, and they give it over to Frisk. And I really think this is probably one of the best position fours at the moment. I think Tusk just provides way too much. Like, his toolkit is incredible.
Yeah, I'd say the only one rivaling Tusk right now is Marcy. And the only reason you're probably not saying Marcy is because it's banned a lot of the time. It's still the only hero that has a 100% pick and ban rate throughout this entire tournament. Enigma's up there. I think he's top 2 or top 3. And Tusk certainly in the top 5 as well. So we'll see how Virtus.pro are going to look to get to these next stages. I'm interested to see what hero they give over to Ramses and what he's going to be able to play against this Enigma, because I think they are incredibly satisfied with how the how the draft is going right now on Vici so far. And just have a look at what they're banning out. Bristleback, still one of the best counters over towards the Enigma. I'm assuming that they're probably going to look to go down a similar sort of route with these next few picks. I'm an advocate of the Alchemist. I think it's still strong enough. What else could they look to go for? Dawnbreaker, someone else that maybe just sits a little bit more on the back line, but then you're really vulnerable to a Tusk just diving in on top of you. Not 100% sure.
What do you think VP can look to pick in synergy with the Disruptor? And I know you're mentioning about the Enigma counters, but what can we look for them to play with the Disruptor? Because TA's banned out, Beastmaster's already banned out, you don't have Batrider now as well. Because Virtus.pro need heroes that, one, provide vision, and two, look to play very aggressive and get pickoffs to enable the Glimpse.
I mean, it's not the Nightstalker game because you've already got the Undying, right? I really want to see more Nightstalker. I think we've only seen, I want to see Xtreme play it a couple of times. Not a bounty hunter game to provide vision. Is it a possibility of a Nyx, but then Nyx Undying feels kind of lackluster? I don't know. There's not many options available, and you don't really want a Spectre into an Enigma and Tusk lane either. At least Undying is able to run forward. I mean, anything else that's just able to move very quickly could be down the lines of something like one of the Spirits. I mean, GPK is very good on all of those, and you're going to be able to dodge out a lot of these stuns that are coming through, at least until the Tusk gets the Blink Dagger, right? Everything is super telegraphed, so you're going to be able to Remnant away or Ball Lightning, or if you're Puck, just Jaunt. So I think that might be the avenue they're looking to go down for Virtus.pro and give Ramses that true hyper carry. I kind of want to see VP Alchemist into, let's say, a Puck. I want to see Puck Alchemist this game. What do they pick up next?
I had that ban from Vici in regards to the Naga. I mean, it is kind of an Eastern European staple, the Naga disrupt the combo. At the moment, Vici do have some difficulties with being able to deal with the illusions as well.
What other routes can you look to go down? I just want more stuff. The reason behind my Puck Alchemist was I want things that are going to be held in position, essentially. Like, I want you to be able to fight around the Tombstone. I want you to be baited in to be able to get caught out by the Static Storm. And I feel like if you've got the Concoction, if you've got the Acid Spray, if you've got the Dream Coil to be able to do a lot of that AoE damage, you're going to be in a really good spot. And you still need a way to deal with this Enigma in the laning stage. They haven't addressed that yet. Really having a long think about this one. Virtus.pro, of course, upper bracket lives on the line. Vici just need that one more win. Tidehunter instead, okay. That's interesting. I mean, a lot of the heroes that, especially in the off lane, that have fallen a little bit out of the meta these days, unless they're going to run like a one Tide or something into the Enigma, it's a possibility. It's that physical damage that you need. But these heroes that rely on these long cooldown ultimates that are completely nullified by BKB, they have fallen a lot more out of the meta, because heroes like the Mars, that's not really where you saw his strength, right? It was more about the repositioning with the Blink Spear. It was more about the physical damage that you're able to output with the God's Rebuke. And I mean, when's the last time you've seen a Sand King? It kind of falls into a similar sort of bracket as the Tide Hunter. At least the Tide, you could stand in front of this zoo, or you're able to clear out the Eidolons quite effectively. So I can see it potentially working, but I'm not exactly sure how Virtus.pro are going to be able to set up these heroes and who's playing what.
Yeah, that's a big concern at the moment. Well, I guess just a big question mark, I should say, is we don't particularly know where the Tide and mainly the Undying is going, because as soon as we saw Undying Disruptor, we thought the Undying was going to be core. Maybe that is just their support duo. Maybe they will flex the Tide in another core role, but regardless, this does give Vici the plenty of picks now to be able to address the Tide. You know, you already see the Slark has been banned out from Virtus.pro, so I guess it was the instant Slark ban into the Tide pick. So, you know, potentially this is going to be DMs here, and they're just looking to try and go for one of the better lane matchups to take away. I mean, you could now consider about like an Ursa here for Vici, but I guess they are on Dire.
I don't know. I want to see the one Tide Hunter this game. I really do. I think... I mean, experimenting isn't really the best way you want to do it. I mean, yeah, you've got a lot of chaos on the front.
All right, you got to go quick here if you're VP. Like, you have to go very, very quick.
Mm-hmm. What's going to enable you to do that, though?
I mean, Puck looks still pretty good, like you said.
Yeah, I like the Puck a lot. The lane's not amazing.
Yeah, the lane. That's
against the sniper, but what else can you really look to do? You know, you're just going to get harassed out. You might modify your sniper build a little bit more if that's the case, right? You saw previously against the Lina, you're not able to trade quite as easily, so you're playing a lot more around the shrapnel and that sort of stuff. But if it's going to be, you know, a spirit hero or someone like the Puck that doesn't have necessarily the range of a Lina, then you just go the old school Thompson multiple Wraith Band into the take aim, and then you just completely harass them out of the lane. It's not like they have great rotators in the Undying or the Disruptor. There's no stuns there.
And maybe that's just the big thing about the sniper, though, that is that like you do win a lot of lanes, so you kind of just have to pick a hero that's good in the game in general that can get on top of you. So, I mean, you just mentioned as soon as
they don't right now.
Yeah, like this is where, I mean, you probably have to pick GPK's hero knowing that it's not going to be the funnest, like the greatest time into sniper, but at least it's a hero that can get on top of him.
Okay.
There you go.
Can get on top of him, gives them the vision. This is what we were wanting out of them. I'm just a little... Again, it feels very committal, doesn't it, on Virtus.pro? You use a ton of mana, you use the Ravage, you use the Static Storm, you use the Tombstone, but you don't really have the follow-up damage after that. And I feel like you're going to have a Wraith Pact, you're going to have a Snowball save, Sniper's going to be playing super far on the backlines, XM's positioning has always been really solid. The only reason he died last game was because of that Observer Ward that wasn't dewarded. And even then, it took absolutely everything to be able to kill him. So they're just trying to get rid of even more of these heroes that are instantly just able to connect in onto him.
That's a good point. It seems like if Virtus.pro are playing from behind, then they will very much have those difficulties. If they're playing from ahead and like Storm Spirit is able to get pickoffs and have control of the power runes, then maybe that's not going to be as much of an issue, because potentially the Blink could come out late from Tusk, or the Wraith Pact as well from the Enigma.
They couldn't Nature's Prophet, could they, on Virtus.pro? Just pair it together with something like the Undying and then have like a Disruptor position 4 with a Tide Hunter. Your Treants do a decent job at dealing with the Eidolons, lots of that physical damage. You've got good cast range, and it does enable a little bit of that global style, right? That's where VP, at least whenever they've been playing with Ramses, I feel like we're at their strongest, where you're able to enable his really good farming patterns, but he's still able to instantly join in onto a lot of these team fights.
I think regardless of whatever VP go, like it needs to be someone who can take objectives. So that the Nature's Prophet, without a doubt, fulfills that category. I'm trying to think if there's some other heroes that...
Still able to instantly join in onto a lot of these team fights.
I think regardless of whatever VP go, like it needs to be someone who can take objectives. So that the Nature's Prophet, without a doubt, fulfills that category. I'm trying to think if there's some other heroes that could potentially do that as well.
I mean, the issue is kind of the same, though. You've got plenty of heroes that are able to get in on top of him with the Tusk, with the Enigma, and with Vici's last pick of the overall draft. What do they want against this Storm Spirit? They're not convinced that the Sniper is going to be played mid just yet, just kind of trying to cover all areas. What else could they look to do?
I'm still happy with Ursa if they want to go down that route. It looks like VP are thinking that the sniper is going to be pushed to the safe lane. So,
I mean, you think about the burst damage coming through. I mean, this
oh wow,
pretty good too, right? Lasting all this time.
This is our first Faces Void game.
You and
somehow, yeah. All right. Thought this was going to be a very, very popular hero heading into it. It has been banned a decent amount, but surprised we haven't seen it in any of our games in particular.
The positive side of this for the Tide Hunter is that he'll be able to get a decent amount of farm in the lane, right? Like the Faceless Void, sure, you're a little bit annoying. You can deal some magic damage with the bash if you're able to get that one off, and the time dilation makes it a little bit difficult to always be anchor smashing, so you've got to be really on point to secure those range creeps, but you won't have a similar time that you did last game where you're just super easily able to die. They do go the Spectre. I mean, I said they can't go the Spectre because of, you know, the laning matchup that it was going to be, but it does fulfill that other objective that I was talking about, right? Where Ramses is able to use those effective farming patterns and then instantly join in onto a team fight, and it gives the vision for the glimpses from the Disruptor.
Yep. Another thing is the fact that he's actually one of the few carries that can survive inside Chrono. I think that's something that you really needed here for Virtus.pro, and why we're still thinking they might go into the Alchemist because of the matchup versus Enigma and Sniper, and also just being able to not particularly worry too much about the Chrono. So it is a hero that has some pretty good matchups overall. We don't particularly see the Spectre often, but I don't hate this pick. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't hate it as well, but you are coming up against three lanes that are pretty damn strong on Vici Gaming. You know, they've really used that draft well. They've used their flexibility very well. XM should be having just a completely fine time in this mid lane once more. So it's two distinct, like, hard carries, essentially, that you're coming up against. So VP, like you said, need to play kind of fast, and they can't really. You know, you've got a Spectre. What's playing fast going to do? You need those items to be able to get to that stage where you can. So I understand the Spectre pick, and I like it. I just wanted something to give them a tiny bit more tempo. So I'm going to have to go for Vici again, and I'm going to be looking out for XM picking up a much earlier Silver Edge than what he was going for in the last game, because that's going to go a long way towards making sure the Spectre does die inside of those Chronospheres.
I think another thing as well here for Vici Gaming, we saw what Frisk was able to do in the previous game with the Tusk. Once again, he's going to be paired with the Sniper if he does look to rotate mid. And the Storm Spirit is very similar to the Lina, where you are vulnerable to these rotations. As Virtus.pro, their two supports are not good at rotating at all. So I think we're going to need to see a little bit of a switch up here in regards to the warding from VP. You need to keep tabs on where Frisk is all the time through the early game, because he's going to be that X factor. He's going to be the reason why you can slow down GPK and why you can get XM off to a good start.
Yeah, for sure. You need to be warding up the high ground cliff ward just to make sure that whenever he's pathing through, he's going to need to commit a smoke for it. So let's see if VP do look to make that little bit of an adjustment. But we're into game 2. We're into the draft. Do you have a prediction for this one?
I'm not quite sure. I really like the Spectre pick. So
I like it in theory. I just think Vici are going to be able to out-carry it. Like 2 carries better than 1.
And I think you were 100% right in particular with how this lane's going to go, though, for the Spectre. Like, Enigma is a very, very good matchup into the Spectre. I'm not sure if it'll be a bit different now, though, just because of the changes to the Idol and magic resistance. And maybe Yamich will have to go... Actually, sorry, it's Yokoda playing. So I wonder what they're going to look to do if he goes for like a second point in Thunderstrike. And if they just go like 2 points Thunderstrike, 2 point Dagger, and if that's going to be enough to deal with the Idolons. Because again, previously it had to be all just... You had to be... Physical damage. So I wonder if that's going to play a bit different, because I haven't seen this matchup since the change. But
it's an awkward situation, right? Because Spectral Dagger, it only does 70 magic damage. Same sort of thing with a Thunderstrike. The level 1 damage isn't that great. Level 2 is pretty good, but by that time, you're going to have level 2 on the Enigma. And if you're not engaging at the exact perfect time, then you can still just turn around with this Tusk Enigma combination and just kill them, right? So it's a really awkward situation to be in for VP. But positive note, they got 3 of the bounty runes. So nice little way to be able to start out this one. Koda just dodging out the Tusk for now, hiding behind the tree line.
I think Friska's rotation is going to win Vici this game. I think we're going to see a very similar thing in last game. And I believe that GPK needs to have a very good early game to make the space for Virtus.pro. So if he dies a couple times, I'm very worried for VP.
Nice change up though. They've made sure that DM, even though he is the offlaner, he's going down into this Enigma's lane. They want to use the anchor smash to be able to deal with those Eidolons. Much more positive with this this development. Ramsey's gone up top into the Undying. Obviously not a strength hero, so the decay isn't quite so bad. And even the Faceless Void, you don't have spells that you're spamming out a lot on the Spectre. So really the time dilation's only going to be effective for the Spectral Dagger.
Do we feel like with how the lanes are set up at the moment, we're going to see anyone rotate, or both sides, that no shenanigans need to come out, they're just going to stay with how the setup is?
There's not exactly a ton of kill threat on VP. So I think if anything, like, look at what happens. These Eidolons just move on forward. They do whatever the hell they want. He got one of them on DM, so it's not horrendous, but I think Frisk is super enabled to be able to go for a lot of these early rotations, probably around the 4-minute rune. 2 minutes feels a little bit too early. He needs to make sure that BAB's secured in the lane.
I think also with that being said, though, maybe Hikoda could rotate as well. I definitely don't think the Disruptor is anywhere near of a rotator like the Tusk, but potentially having that body to help out. Because Tidehunter will be fine in a solo matchup versus the Enigma.
Yeah, for sure. You'll be trading.
Or maybe even... Yeah, and maybe even instead of rotating, you could make some stacks for DM to potentially help out, or even the Storm Spirit in the jungle. So I think bottom lane in particular, like both these supports are going to be very free to do whatever they want early.
Yep, making stacks is a good call, I think. I don't think you're going to be able to accomplish what the Tusk is going to be able to, so it's more about, well, A, making those stacks, and B, maybe getting a secondary Observer Ward, like you were mentioning, that's going to scout out some of these Frisk movements.
So we've spoken a lot about the bottom lane, but how's our other side lane looking at the moment? This definitely feels like we're not going to see too many rotations come out from these heroes. It's probably going to be the 2v2 for quite some stage of this lane.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first rotation that's going to come around this lane at all is probably going to be GPK coming up to that lane just to try and get that early pick-off with the level advantage, with your ultimate available against the Faceless Void, and use what's relatively decent burst damage to come through from the Undying and the Spectre.
Oh, Yamich, Cookie's going to be on the mark. He's got a stick charge to play with. Not going to give him too much health back. I think the Undying's going to be okay for the moment. Wonder if Erica considers about a point in the dilation at level 3.
You can already see the difference down. Sorry, I'm going to mention bottom side again. DM, he's having a fantastic time. 13 and 15 and 5 so far. And he's just using that anchor smash to full effect. Going the super early boots of speed. Most of the time, that's to be able to trade a little bit more effectively with right clicks, but he just wants to make sure he can gap close on those Eidolons, which are still pretty slow, with Tidehunter having pretty decent movement speed to begin with.
We saw just before as well, Frisk already tried to make his first rotation, but Virtus.pro, they're able to sniff that out, so probably going to look for a second movement coming shortly. We'll get the bounty, and for this next set of water runes for the Tusk. And I like this from Hikoda. This is really his main thing as well that he needs to do, is kind of follow wherever Frisk is going. If he sees he's leaving the lane, you just need to try and scout out his positioning. We'll look to TP out, has the recognition. There's no skill level in the snowball. Top lane, Yamich is in a bit of trouble. Erica going for that time dilation. One more right click, gets a bash for good measure, and secures first blood. 2 games in a row, Vici Gaming being able to find first blood.
This is actually really big as well in the mid lane. XM has completely bullied GPK out of this one. He went and claimed the water rune on the bottom side. He was forced to TP back to the lane just with his bottle to be able to get any kind of farm. And now you're going to claim the top water rune as well. So you don't have those to be able to play around on this Storm Spirit. This was the build that I was talking about with that Thompson popularized, right? Early Wraith Band. He actually went the Shrapnel instead, but it's still really effective, at least until Storm gets up to that level 6. It's just bullying him out of the lane.
You're really going to need to start looking to try and find a way for GPK to keep up in farm, because the sniper's already proving to be an issue. 400 net worth difference, and it's only going to get worse and worse as this lane goes on. They are diving Erica up top. He's got the Fairy Fire still to play with. Yeah, he's going to get some distance as well. An aggressive use of the Glyph from Virtus.pro will enable this dive. The dagger up shortly from Ramses. If they can lock onto Erica, they might be able to finish the kill, but not going to be the case.
Nice dodges coming through there from Erica. He's conscious of obviously wanting to take the aggro off the tower, but not have the creeps follow him inside of the tree line. Maybe just wanting to do a quick check of the mana pools on Virtus.pro and realizing that Yamich didn't really have too much, was going to be able to back off effectively. There's a healing salve as well coming through for him on the Faceless Void, so he'll be just fine.
Oh!
Well, maybe not.
All right. Beautifully done. Yamich with the lane ward. Just 2 points decay and a soul rip. There was no creeps nearby. I was not expecting it to do that much damage, but now he's got level 4 to... Oh, I was going to say, he's got no mana to go for the dive, does he? Hang on, Yang's got to be cautious.
Very cautious.
Yang's got to be cautious. Oh, no.
He wanted the free TP, you know?
All right, this is another big thing. GPK, able to dodge out the Tusk rotation, picks up the illusion rune. They're going to continue to chase him down, though. They've got the ward on the high ground, so Vici Gaming know that no one else is nearby. It's going to force GPK to look to use DM as a bodyguard.
Not quite level 6 yet, and nowhere near the mana to be able to pop the Ravage either. I really feel like this is a game where they are going to be a little bit more passive as well on Virtus.pro, at least for that very start. Just looking to max out that Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash as much as possible.
Oh, look at this, GPK.
Not level 6.
Oh, he's in trouble. He's going to use the illusion early, but XM with the Assassinate. He's going to go for the last second, trying to hope for the bottle sips. And he just survives. GPK, beautifully done. Just surviving on a slither of health.
Yeah, those are the sorts of individual plays that we talk about when we think of Virtus.pro. You know, say what you want about their performances so far, but they are a bunch of hugely individually skilled players, and GPK just showing us why. Even
look at top lane. Oh. The support rotation. Frisk got a tip in, and Yakoda, he's already made the rotation as well. They're going to go straight to Erica. Glimpse back, and GPK is going to look to show up as well. He's got the level 6. The extra damage, incredibly important here for them to secure both the kills, and they're not even done because Yamich is yet to drop the tombstone as Frisk will be chased down behind the tier 1 tower. This is a completely different look at Virtus.pro in game 2.
Yeah, that's the way that you're going to win this game on Virtus.pro, is giving GPK a ton of farm. He's even got this double bounty runes as well inside of the dire jungle, of course. Sniper, he's that lane dominator. Oh, they're going to kill? They're going to get a kill?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Without a doubt. Yay. Hello. Goodbye. Another easy freebie here for GPK. What a start. Maybe. Erica has used a lot of mana here for the Storm Spirit. And XM's going to haste as well. Alright, well, GPK's going to go down. Oh, no, it's looking so good, but not to be. Ransom will try and play around with the Horn to get the kill onto Yang. They'll finally get the finishing blow, but XM, the cleanup crew with the sniper haze, they try and TP out. XM with the assassinate stops him short as Ramses will not live to see another day.
Just that instant changeover to get the mini stun from the assassinate, making sure that he's not able to get that TP away. Point blank as well. Getting rid of all of that travel time. Perfect rune to be able to make that rotation happen.
Such a turn of affairs there. From so good for Virtus.pro to just so bad from one power rune.
At least Hakoda died to a neutral creep. Didn't give up all of that extra golden experience away. So could be worse. You can get some D wards off as well. Right now, it really does feel like GPK is making stacks for himself, but I want to see Hakoda start to put a little bit more priority on that for his cause. You know, you're not going to be able to do too much. You're not a roamer. It's honestly kind of lucky that he's had this time to be able to get down this super deep Observer Ward inside of Vici Gaming's triangle. But it's not going to scout out this smoke coming down here from XM. If they could find a pick off onto the Tide Hunter, that opens up so much more of the map for BAB to be able to play around and push in with his Eidolons.
Yeah, they're looking to try and use the first black hole of the game. They've got the Vlad, so if they get the kill, it's going to be a lot of damage to be pumping to the tower. I mean, more top lane for the moment. Undying's going to be killed off on the other side of the map, and back down to bottom is DM. Oh, he's the one. It's a more valuable kill here out of Vici Gaming. You love to see it. 2 movements coming out from them. The ganking squad from bottom to top they go as Vici find a double kill.
And they didn't even need to use the black hole for that one either. Just that full-on rotation. Caught him inside a perfect ice shards. Frisk having another great game.
Inside the river, GPK. Trying to pick up the double damage rune. Not going to be fast enough. Beautiful zip. And the glimpse away. Oh no, Eric is back to top. At least XM's nearby. So he'll get usage out of keeping Hakoda stuck inside the bubble. But GPK, some quick reactions means the Storm Spirit will live.
And he's doing his damnedest to try and will them across the line here. They need the star performance coming through from GPK. And it's just a couple of times now, just getting that solo kill in the bot lane, getting his level 6, zipping away. Yeah, we'll ignore what happened inside of the enemy jungle, but getting away from that Chronosphere, another big individual play coming through there.
And another smoke here from Vici Gaming. This time they've got the Mortimer Kisses to play with.
They want to make sure that, well, I was about to say they get usage out of that siege creep, but DM deals with it quickly enough and he's going to back away from the lane, realizing that's where a big portion of the damage is going to be coming from, just from the Enigma, with those Eidolons maxed out, with the Vladimir's offering.
And he's going to get much harder to kill now with the Hood of Defiance completed as well for DM. I wonder what Virtus.pro are going to look to do, though, because his Tidehunter thrives on being able to act as a bodyguard and keep towers alive. And again, that is something you mentioned in Game 1. VP do not like to give up towers for free. So DM at the moment's going to look to move away. So this will open up the tower for BAB, and looks like they're actually going to get it without a contest.
Yeah, I think this is the time where, like, you're happy enough with what you got out of the lane on DM. Most of the time, the Enigma is going to be near the top of the net worth, so the fact that he's behind you on the Tidehunter, you're pretty happy with that. And DM, he's farming up the jungle for now. That's just more for an efficiency thing. But I really see him starting to play up, away, and more towards the mid lane and start to get usage out of the Ravage and just how tanky he is.
Oh, Hakoda with the wraparound. Instantly stepping in with a Static Storm. Ramses has the +1 as well. They're going to try and blow up XM on the sniper. It's a difficult task at the moment. XM's relatively tanky with the stats, but finally they'll bring him down. And it looks like Virtus.pro need to get out once they've claimed the grand prize of XM's life.
Yeah, they backed off once they saw BAB had TP'd in, though. That Vlad's plus the threat of the black hole is too much to be able to just TP straight on away. But they still do get a nice little trade there, being able to kill off the sniper. It's a big win for Virtus.pro. Again, it's just about making sure that he doesn't get into that early Silver Edge so that you have the capabilities of killing the Spectre. Ramses, once again, once you give him one of these farming style of heroes, whether it be the Luna, the Spectre, the Nature's Prophet, he is able to pay you back in spades.
We see this item build here from Ramses. The maxed out Dispersion into the Blade Mail, something that we saw quite a while ago when the Spectre was viable. Really just opens up the triangle as a hero that never could really farm the Ancients. Now you have this capability. They don't particularly have anyone else that wants to be there. I suppose the Tidehunter, but with how DM's positioning, again, playing down bottom, so a lot of the farm over to Ramses. And are we expecting the Scepter to...
He's a push blocker on the Tidehunter. Scepter on who? On
Ramses after the Yasha? Is that what we're thinking the build's going to be?
Oh, I think he might need to tank up a little bit more, right? You still do have that threat of the black hole. There's not a ton of saves coming through, so I might want to see him just go for a little bit more of that, maybe the full S&Y. Maybe he's going to go into the Manta just so that he's not bogged down by the time dilation.
Corridor, let's see if we can get in range for the glimpse back. You bet he can. Even gonna lay down the Static Storm just for the kill onto Yang. If they got the damage though.
What kill?
Oh wow, great read and a voice line as well for good measure, and a tiff as well. Beautifully done from Yang.
Those are the sorts of things. I didn't get a chance to have a look at the old player cam and wonder if he was having a bit of a chuckle that time as well, but well, Vici, they're satisfied with how the game's going so far. You know, XM, he's having to sit back a little bit more, allow his side laners to be the ones showing in the lane, and just look to get the most out of the map as possible. Faceless Void, not quite at the stage yet where he can look to go into farming the triangle, so he's going to go back there, use the Maelstrom for that same sort of purpose. Not the Maelstrom, never mind, but just outrange it.
Erica's is continue with the greed here a little bit. You mentioned before that one thing with Vici Gaming is that they do have two incredible cores to scale into the late game, and well, Erica with this Midas picked up is going to help him get to that stage a little bit faster.
Yeah, for sure. And it does mean that you are kind of on a timer for Virtus.pro, and that feels kind of weird to say considering you're going up against a Spectre lineup, but again, if you're going against Faceless Void and Enigma and Sniper, those are three super scary late game carries.
Gang, I don't think you're going to make it out of this time. Even with XM off to the right side, they will TP BAB down just in case a further fight breaks out, but nothing will occur here.
You just see the difference there. Even though Snapfire, of course, strength hero, but you don't naturally build into those items that try and tank you up, and you also don't have those same saving mechanisms, let's call it.
Erica, Chrono onto the Disruptor. Not wanting to try and mess around and allow Shakoda to live with his own life, and well, Frisk will even need to step in to help out the Faceless Void, so at least Erica gets up to a dominating streak, but I wonder with the Chrono on cooldown if we're going to see something out of Virtus.pro.
Yeah, I think it does give them an opening. I mean, it just tells you Vici Gaming's mindset, right? They just want to be able to sit back and farm. Fighting isn't the main priority for them right now. They're going to try and just keep these lanes shoved out as much as possible, split up the map. No one really wants to go down onto this bottom side, other than maybe XM. Looks like they might be using Frisk as bait here. And they found him.
Oh, straight to the backline. DM with the Ravage, but where's the follow-up? It's a great Ravage and all onto the Sniper, but GPK is just not nearby to follow up. DM will try and TP out, and he will be successful. GPK also will escape, but yeah, you mentioned it, Rams. He wasn't ready to show up, didn't want to take a team fight at the front of the Tier 1 tower where the rest of Vici Gaming could potentially TP in to defend the Sniper.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit too close to the tower. I think if it was, another 500 units, a bit more south, he would have gladly looked to make that attempt happen. But Haunt on cooldown, he was full HP, full mana, still not wanting to take that risk, saying, we're going up against these two hard carries. I got to make sure that I'm not giving up my life for free.
Yeah, and that was a window that Virtus.pro were going to be playing with the Chronosphere on cooldown, and now both ultimates expended, so it's not like they're going to be able to get a kill or potentially an objective off the back of this. BAB mid lane, threatening with the black hole. They're going to try and drop it in the end. Let's see if they have the damage. Yanks point blank here with the cookie, but Yamich's position will keep DM healthy. They're finally going to drop the Mortimer Kisses, but Frisk kind of follow up as well for the stun control, but it's not enough. DM will be able to stay alive, and meanwhile to the Tier 1 tower, Ramses in combination with GPK will be able to deal with the Sniper. They'll turn to Erica next as well. The Time Look providing bonus health to keep the Faceless Void alive. They don't have the damage required to deal with another core on Vici Gaming. It's beautifully done. Virtus.pro, they show up with all the numbers, just keeping DM alive. Another ultimate that doesn't provide a kill from either side, but that is a big skirmish here for VP.
Oh, for sure. Enables them to get the kill again onto XM, already identifying him as the key component of how Vici Gaming are going to be able to open up the map even further and make these gank attempts with the Storm Spirit. They made the smoke rotation about to happen as that jump was happening, but it's just all about finding those key pickoffs. Again, Virtus.pro have a very significant and distinct style where they look to go for that.
What do we feel like Vici Gaming need to do in regards to itemization to help protect the Sniper as this game goes on? Because Virtus.pro have just showcased how easy it is going to be for them to get on top of XM.
I mean, he's nearly got the BKB this time, right? He's going it much sooner than he did in the previous game, just because they have multiple ways to get in on top of him. The Static Storm, the Glimpse, makes things just that little bit more difficult. So at least this time, they've got those heroes that can gap close. It enables the Disruptor to have a much more free game, where you're not just dying for free every single team fight. Nearly going into the Blink Dagger as well on Frisk, about halfway there. So obviously isn't having as exceptional of a game as he did last time around, where he was able to get our MVP award, but it does mean that you're able to just sit back, maybe farm up a little bit more while these long cooldowns are there.
Yamich is farming up the enemy's jungle with the Tombstone. Erica kind of chuckling a little bit with the Undying being a nuisance, and gets a tip as well. Some funny back and forth we've had with some of the players from both sides in this series. Oh, he's going Agshot next on Yamich. Okay. This is interesting.
That is interesting. I mean, I guess they just want to fight a little bit more often with the Flesh Golem available, but in a game where you've just got so many big teamfight ultimates, it's a little bit odd, right? Are they going to be able to maximize it and get full usage out of it? Once he picks it up, I'm assuming that he's just going to be holding hands with GPK as well as Hakoda and looking to make a lot of these three-man ganks happen.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Might go even earlier. TP coming through from GPK to the mid lane. They're actually going to use GM to sit on the front lines, but they have to be cautious. He doesn't have the greatest mana pool right now. But he does have a Blink Dagger, so he's able to get in onto the back lines. Yang's positioning has been pretty solid so far, but they're picking out the fact that Seeds of Serenity was used, so they didn't want to go up there onto the stairs. Instead, they're going left.
Very nicely done from Frisk, yeah. Pops a smoke, and he's going to make it work for it. But GPK is going to be rewarded with the kill. I think both sides need to be considering about how Roshan is going to be next on the agenda. Are VP actually going to think about it? Because for Spectre and Radiant in particular, yeah, you've got this Manta. It's a great way to bring it down. You've got the Gush level 2 as well, and Tombstone. So Virtus.pro feel like that one pick off onto the Tusk is enough to bring down Roche, and it looks like that might be the case.
You're going to just pop the Mortimer? You're going to use the Shrapnel for it? DM,
oh, they need a way to get in. Finally, the Kiss is going to come out, but it's too late. Ages are being claimed down. What's the call for Virtus.pro? Do they want to take the team fight? Static Storm along with the Ravage, but Eric is able to pop the BKB, but the big issue is the Enigma's being called out to start the fight. They won't have the Black Hole to turn this around. As DM's alone for the moment, Virtus.pro, do they want to leave him? And it looks like that's going to be the case. They'll cut their losses with the Tidehunter. Recognizing with the ultimates expended, with the Aegis claimed, they are happy with what they've gotten out of that skirmish.
Man, they used the Ravage, they used the Static Storm, they used the Haunt, they had the Aegis, and you only used the Mortimer's Kisses, really, on Vici. I guess the BKB as well on Erica, but again, it's just another one of these fights for XM where he's just able to sit back and do whatever the hell he wants. He's even got the Specialist's Array as well, so he deals a good amount of AoE damage in these team fights, and it's just going to become even more once he picks up that Mithril Hammer for himself into the Maelstrom.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They know that they're not capable of defending this, right? So many heavy, big teamfight ultimates being used. Who's going to stop this? GPK is going to try his best. Still going to back off, though.
They will actually back off.
Yeah. Giving some respect through.
Maybe it's the fake back. Look at the ward they've got. They see GPK farming the hard camp. Frisk in a position, because he doesn't have to blink yet at the moment, so it's going to have to be onto someone else to get that stun. And now with going over to the lane, that might be a bit too far away. They are still waiting Vici Gaming inside the jungle. They've got very good vision nearby, and recognizing all the ultimates are on cooldown.
Ooh. Damage actually protected a little bit by those ice shards there. Frisk trying to go for the solo kill. Should be enough with the time dilation to be able to pick him off and get some nice easy gold coming through. They don't have the, sorry, they do have the glyph still available on Virtus.pro, and Erica just trying to make sure that the creep wave gets full value out of that with clearing out the wave behind the tower. In the meantime, though, they're able to take that mid tower, looking to go for the solo pick-off onto the Snapfire.
Gotta be cautious. BFB's nearby with the black hole.
Not going to commit it into the Aegis, though. Did use the glyph on Virtus.pro's side, so I think they're again just very happy to continue sitting down around this bottom side. They know the Ravage is a little bit away, 20 seconds. Are they going to try and poke and prod with this smoke just to try and draw them in to bait out that fight for another 10 or so seconds? I think they might lose the tower before then, though, with all this Eidolon damage and the Vlad's aura. Yep, they will.
It's a difficult fight now to take. You've lost your formation, and Vici Gaming, they're going to smoke up as well.
No one's showing, right? No one's showing on the map, so you got to be cautious. You got to retreat as a team. But with that tower kill, not only does it open up the map, just that little bit of an extra gold bonus means that Frisk, he's getting closer towards that Blink Dagger for himself. So if he's able to catch out on whatever target gets jumped by the Storm Spirit, unless there's the perfect Static Storm follow-up, you're going to be able to get a save off and really prevent a lot of that initiation that Virtus.pro have based their draft around.
Yeah, they're baiting this mid lane. They also see GPK's position with a haste. Ooh, scary, scary stuff. Yeah, getting close to this Aghanim Scepter, almost completed though from Ramses. That's going to be a big item. Can jump in and out. A shorter cooldown as well means that their pickup potential is going to be far greater. Vici Gaming always have to be aware of this.
Erica even been forced down towards the bottom side to deal with Yamich again. Once again, the Undying with a maxed out decay means that you are able to keep these lanes pushed in. Actually,
they're baiting Yamich. Oh no, he zipped in the Chrono! Oh no, Erica's still gonna try and right-click the Undying instead of the Storm Spirit. Very awkward. Chrono, Mortimer Kisses in a BKB, or just for the kill in a position 4.
And maybe now GPK feels confident. I mean, he's down here on his own, but maybe just trying to catch a straggler with the Aghanim Scepter coming out to the Spectre. as we speak. Feel like maybe they would have switched on to the Storm Spirit if they had the sniper down on the bottom side, but you're still looking to prioritize just that little bit of extra farm on XM. So he's actually going into the Satanic with the Aghanim shot. I'm a little surprised he hasn't got down the Silver Edge route. Not just for the Spectre, but Tidehunter as well. Very effective.
And I think also against Horn, it's a really, really important thing. Spectre could potentially... Oh, long zipping from GPK. BKB is going to be forced out. Ramsey going to look to jump as well onto XM. But with Vici Gaming playing behind the sniper, XM should be okay for the moment. DM's waiting for an angle to jump in, and he finds it now. Ravage onto 3. Ramsey's at the flop as well as XM's in trouble. Completely surrounded under the tower, and Virtus.pro finally cracked the sniper's life.
He's considering wanting to go back in on GPK with that Aegis just expiring, so he's back at full health and mana. Just depends on who's going to be the one to step out, and they're navigating these long cooldowns very well on Virtus.pro. Making sure to realize the fact that, hey, there's no chrono. We can full-on commit for this, and this time around, the Haunt used in combination with DM with that Blink Ravage.
And that could be something we continue to see throughout this game, just the in and out from Virtus.pro that they have from them, forcing out an early BKB or forcing out a snowball save, and once that's on cooldown, then you can jump in and look to commit on the second round.
Absolutely. They might be looking to make their own counterplay, though. You can see Yang, Frisk, and BAB looking to clump around the same sort of area, maybe trying to get some vision control back, but all of the high ground seem to be sentryed up, so yeah, looks like they might just be looking to go for a more aggressive play rather than an area control play.
Dire are scanning.
See the core scans on
They
the
found
mark.
Ramses,
Dire's bottom
farming it
tower
on the correct
Great read.
side.
Oh, maybe not. Is he going to go back?
He was going for the stack instead.
Oh, he's going to bait with the illusion. Smoke doesn't pop. Don't do it. Don't do it. They know
Vision.
roundabout where he is,
Vision.
though. They know roundabout where he is. Ramses. Let's see if he's going to be taking enough for the reinforcements to show up, and no one is TPing in. Ramses will go down. Great read from Vici Gaming, knowing exactly where the Spectre was.
Yeah, I think they've watched a few Ramses replays in their time. This is his home, this triangle camp area. He loves to play in this, especially on heroes like the Spectre, like the Nature's Prophet. So it just comes to an understanding of not just the heroes that you're playing against, but who you're playing against. And Vici Gaming read Virtus.pro like a book there.
And now look at all the vision they have around mid. They can stick around to try and secure another tier 2 tower here for Vici Gaming. Slowly cutting this net worth lead that Virtus.pro been able to build up.
I'm sure the comms right now is how long's that Ravage cooldown? When can they look to take this team fight? I feel like even if they knew the Ravage was up in 10 seconds, they'd be happy to stay for another 15, at least until that Spectre's alive. But with that claim, they see a DD, they're going to push out a lot of the other lanes, and really the next main objective is playing around this top side of the map. You can see they've got zero vision down towards bottom side. I think they're going to be pretty happy with just leaving it. If they lose a tier 2 tower, they might not be too happy about that, but the main priority for them, take tier 1 tower, open up the Roche pit because it's potentially up in just 30 seconds.
Now they've got their own scary turnaround as well in the team fight. BAB with a blink and a BKB. And they have zero answers to this as the game goes on. And even now, for that matter. So
How long's the Roche respawn? Call it.
47 seconds.
Minute 21. Come on. Oh.
Hate to see it. Just one of the longest ones you can get. Alright. Virtus.pro, what's the call? Smoke up. Every other lane bot mid is in a pretty good position, but it's going to make it obvious unless someone shows.
I mean, you're always anxious, though, on VP. They've got the Roche timer down. They know that they need it, right? A, because Storm Spirit, one of the best carriers, but B, you're going up against Black Hole. You're going up against Chronosphere. It's such a big item to be able to counter that. So they're going to be playing a little bit on the edge. They use the correct scan just to see exactly where Vici Gaming are looking to play. They might look to go for a full-on wraparound all the way through to the left side, but GPK, he's going to show underneath the Observer Ward now, so maybe they look to make a blink play of their own. They see that it's warded up there, so they're going to back off, play around the safety that they've got on Vici Gaming.
I mean, meanwhile, Ramses is farming across the map, getting close to this moonshot.
Again,
you know, though they see DM.
Vici don't want
He's
to be there.
really isolated. DM's got no one behind him. just playing too far forward. Hope he can clear off the creep where Virtus.pro is starting to connect, but DM's going to go down. Oh no, Virtus.pro. And now you got to get out of the jungle. They're going to lose all the control, all the wards they had set up for this Roche.
They are, but again, lucky. Luck is a part of Dota, and luckily enough for Virtus.pro, it is still going to be about another minute or so once DM respawns that they can look to contest that Roshan. So all's not lost just yet. Ramsey's getting close to that level 20 as well, just for that huge extra little bit of survivability. The plus 350 health if he chooses to go down that route, even going into the Moon Shard for a little bit more vision. Of course, the attack speed as well. It's all about that individual pick-off, right? Using the Shadow Step to be able to do it. Zip in on GPK. Still doesn't have a BKB picked up for him, unless it's coming out on the courier right now. Which it's not, it's the Aghanim Scepter on the Storm Spirit. So he's just going to be zipping back, forth, here, there, everywhere. Trying to push the hero to its limits with the Soul Ring.
Vici Gaming, aggressive blink from Frisk. They're onto the Disrupt. They're going to be able to blow him up. Mimo inside the middle of the fight. GPK's in trouble. The Chronosphere out. Look at the damage. XM on the low ground. Pumping in all the right clicks required to kill off GPK.
Just didn't have all the boys there, and they know there's no haunt either.
Frisk? It's a Tombstone just in the middle where no one can protect it. They're going to also see the Titan throw off the right side to BAB. No messing around. The solo use of the Black Hole. Recognizing the Kraken Shell will have no effectiveness against the ultimate. And Virtus.pro at 3 against 5. Ramses will TP in, but what can they do?
They can't do anything, and they know that Roshan's up now. That longest possible respawn. It's 100% going to be up, so they're going to look to play around that. They still haven't gotten rid of this high ground vision, but it's going to need to be a miracle play to come through. They've got no ultimates to play with right now. Just Yamich with that decay, trying to scare them off, but there's nothing to be afraid of right now on Vici Gaming.
Nothing at all. Second Roche. Eric is even actually going to jump on forward. Yamich playing with the BKB. Frisk is going to be cautious. BAB even trying to get in the midst of it all. Virtus.pro, they are respawning shortly. They've got a tier 1 tower they can TP to, and GPK is going to zip in the middle. A double vortex, but the follow-up's not there until Ramses can rejoin thanks to the ultimate. Is going to try and bring down the sniper, but they're unable to get on top of XM for the moment, and now GPK is out of mana. Trying to get close to the regen, but Frisk will stop him short as Vici Gaming bring down the Storm. They get the Spectre as well, and XM continues to reign supreme.
Just yoinks it right in the face of him. It's a despair moment coming through from the Storm Spirit there. He wants the regen. He was so close to being able to pick it up, but I mean, again, GPK, it feels like he's having to do this all on his own, or at least that's how it is in his mind. Just getting that super deep dive in onto three-man Aghanim Scepter, Electric Vortex, and well, he's able to clean up 2, but it costs Ramses his life.
I feel like you just said it though, like it feels like he's trying to do it all by himself, but I think this is a lineup where VP need to play coordinated. You need that Vortex into Ravage, into Static Storm, and kind of just seems like they're going in one by one on Virtus.pro.
It is a little bit worrying for sure. That's always been a bit of their weakness, right? Once it gets to the mid-game, unless they're completely on point and feeling themselves on that day, some of the team cohesion can be not quite there. Frisk finds them out.
The T2 tower? On the DM once again. Oh, the Tide Hunter gets some distance with the 4-star. Eric is still going to be really proud. Meanwhile, XM, though, he's completely isolated. He's got none of the boys nearby to provide the space for the sniper to stay alive. A big kill for Virtus.pro to find, and now they can look to target down Erica. A glimpse to drag him back. GPK's back in alive as well. Ravage from DM, stopping the retreat. As Virtus.pro, they want more blood. Yamich with the ore chat as well. VP are hungry for kills, but they will not catch up to anyone else.
Oh man, that's the cohesion we were talking about, right? They find the pick-off onto these heroes, not quite yet into the Satanic there. Otherwise, I think XM would have been able to just stand there and man-fight and potentially kill multiple heroes on the team. It would have meant that Erica as well would have felt so much more confident in sticking around. He had the Chronosphere available, but they didn't have the BKB. They didn't have the Mortimer's Kisses. Or is he going to be able to find this pick-off on GPK? He has to be a little bit careful without the mana pool, but at least they're opening up the map a little bit more.
I mean, you would probably say this is a team that wear their heart on the sleeve. Virtus.pro, an incredibly emotional young team. We see that come out often in their play style. the voice lines, the tips, and even sometimes the all chat as well. VP back in the net worth lead.
Dire's top tower is under
And I know Dota Plus loves to have a little bit of a, you know, a bit of a favoring towards the Spectre. But before that team fight, it was dead on 50-50. Just have a look at that. They're able to get right in on top of XM. Full commitment from Yamich. I mean, he's a position 4 that's incredibly farmed right now. Basically as farmed as DM. With his BKB, with his drums. He's actually going into a basher next as well.
Oh, Frisch! Oh, that's perfect!
Oh, you didn't see it on stream, but basically, Yamich, he yelled out, come, after that fight, said, come on, come fight us, and Frisk with the all chat. Yeah, we're coming. We're going to be there. We're listed. Don't worry about that.
Oh, no. Oh, God.
I love it when there's a bit of spice in this. You know, people always talk about NA versus EU or China. They're here to say, you know what, we got the bants as well. First it was the question mark coming through from Emo, and now this. You gotta love a little bit.
I mean,
of,
there was
a little bit of the flavor.
Oh, Ramses, yeah, you can't do that at this stage of the game. Ramses is incredibly farmed. If he's here supported by himself, he will instantly jump forward with the shadow step. You just, you mentioned the spice as well. I feel like the spice came into it as soon as GPK, at the end of that game 1, on the Lina, just, you blinked in, suicided, called GG'd, and they just tapped that. That's when it felt like the spice was really starting to show on this series. And what an important series it is, of course. 2 teams potentially making it out of the last chance qualifiers. We're only in round 1 of the upper bracket. But it is so important to continue moving on. You do not want to drop down to the lower bracket. Anything can happen there.
I mean, we're going to have teams going home today. You know, later today, this is when the losing team out of this series needs to play their lower bracket match. So, there's, of course, a lot of nerves going to be coming through. Yamich is moving fast as hell with that windlace, with the drums of endurance. Doesn't have any charges left into it. Like I said before, he's going the basher just to try to give them that tiny little bit of extra lockdown to be able to, you know, interrupt maybe some satanic right clicks to be able to get the void where he's not able to use the time walk. But, well, we'll see if he goes into something else beyond that. Might be not a bad game for the Boots of Bearing. I know he's already got the phase boots, but just to be able to provide that little bit of extra damage output for this pick-off oriented lineup could be huge.
This fight all comes down to vision. If VP get the jump on the sniper, it's huge. If Vici Gaming can find an angle in with their initiation, they could win the fight off the back of that.
I mean, they should wait, though. They know that the tombstone's being committed around this cliff. They used it for dewatting purposes. So, wonder if they're going to look to just play specifically around the lane. Wisely enough, VP, they're looking to retreat a little bit. They want to play around this high ground, and I feel like once this tombstone expires, they're just going to get out completely.
I'd love to see Vici Gaming pick up a gem next. With exactly what I was saying. We already see it on Deem at the moment here for Virtus.pro, and I think it's still the same. Vici, this game really comes down to who gets the initiation, and you need that vision to help out with the sniper's positioning as well.
Just looking to check for that high ground. They still have the sentry ward available, so Frisk, again, scouting out basically where Vici Gaming cannot go. And they look to buy that gem. They want to take back control. Again, Roshan, it's the next big objective. And you think about a game, if there was ever a Refresher Shard game that's pretty valuable, Haunt, Ravage, Black Hole, Chronosphere, this is the one for it.
Yeah, you see Dim's even itemizing to his own Refresher. So might have some many issues at that stage, but we are getting to this late game Dota territory where both sides have incredible team fighting potential.
Almost feels like if he's not caught inside the Midnight Pulse, the DM just can't die. He's level 20 now, so he's got that extra 40 Kraken Shoal damage block. I know that it's big damage coming through from XM as well as Erica, but until you get that Silver Edge, I really don't think he's going to be dropping too easily.
See, I'm Sniper's on the right side. Kraken Shoal ain't going to do much against the Black Hole and the Chrono. I guess this is a nice thing about some of these heroes. But that's where it's going to come into Virtus.pro to get on top of XM. Need to slow down his right clicks.
They're walking on forward.
Need to keep this ward alive.
Yeah. Ooh. Yep. They're heavily prioritizing this one. Who's going to show in the lane? BAB flopping forward with his Ogre Seal Totem just to be able to start passively pushing the lane out.
This is a big item. Ramsey's just completed the Abyssal Blade. He's very, very close to level 25 as well. If they can pick this up before this next team fight, prove to be a big issue here for Vici Gaming.
I wonder what avenue he's going to go down as well, whether it is the dispersion, considering you're
It's
going
a
up
DD.
against the black hole and the chronosphere, or if he's just going to go with that haunt illusion damage and play off the back of the shadow step.
Yeah, they're going to look to fight. Look at that smoke from Virtus.pro. They know that this DD is an opportunity for them to potentially come out on top in the team fight. And Vici Gaming, they're not home at the moment. They don't have this higher ground control. Smoke's going to pop. GPK, guess who is on? Onto the sniper, but XM, where'd he go? Into the snowball. XM is protected for the moment. The BKB is onto GPK on the left side as well. They're going to try and target down the storm strip. They've got the damage to blow him up, but still XM is completely isolated until BAB jumps in with the black hole, but Sniper will still go down. The buybacks are coming out from Vici Gaming. They've got to be cautious though. It's a heavy investment into the team fight, and they don't have the ultimate to come out on top in round 2. And it's Virtus.pro will charge on forward over to Erica next, blocked inside the shards. XM to the northern side. They need to get on top of the sniper, and Yamich recognizes his role, blinks directly over to XM to the rest of the team. They're not following up, and XM just freely pummeling him from the northern side. Look at the damage from the sniper. Triple kill for XM, and they don't have the response.
They don't have the response, and Roshan's up in 14 seconds, so they're pinging it out completely. You've now got the level 25 as well on XM, so he's able to stand further and further back. They're going to push out this mid lane. They're going to try and make them deal with it for a little bit, but Roshan, that's the key objective they're going for. So many buybacks being expended in that team fight. There's only 2 left. Tidehunter, Disruptor, they're not going to change much about the outcome of this game. And would you look at that? No Aghanim Scepter, it's the Refresher Shard on the Roshan. So despite expending all of these big cooldowns to win that team fight, Vici Gaming are still going to be in fighting shape. I mean, he made the right jump. They were nearly able to catch him, but what a snowball save, just fighting right underneath their vision. Great chronosphere. It wasn't even perfect, right? They weren't able to get all of those right clicks. The pushback from the headshot as well actually nearly ended up griefing them, but that concussive onto the low ground just causes them to commit just that little bit further. Buyback in onto the outpost, and this is the big zip back in from GPK. He uses all of his mana, and he just runs out of juice. They're able to fight there behind the tankiness of the Faceless Void. Erica just standing and man fighting and realizing that, look, XM, he's not going to be dying once you're just trying to man fight like this. Made sure to get rid of that Flesh Golem damage amplification as well, and then it was all XM from there.
Just looking back at the replay as well, I don't know where Ramses was for half of that. He was running from the mid lane, so Virtus.pro did not have the Spectre for a decent portion of that team fight towards the start.
Radiant's top tower has
There's also a gem right underneath the sentry ward next to that high ground that we just saw on the ground. Yeah, exactly. The observer's even looking for it. He couldn't see it. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit interesting. But yeah, we'll have a look if anyone decides to pick that one up.
It's a nice little choreo snipe. I think it was the second Perseverance that was on Enigma's choreo. So, ooh, and that's a big item here for Hikoda.
Right, he did sell all of his items, though. This is not the solo Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah. And instantly with the blink as well, because he recognizes how difficult it is going to be for the Disruptor to get into the middle. He's not going to be able to get...
Ooh, Ramses!
Ramses! Let's see if he's going to be taking off the rest of Virtus.pro. They're starting to move bottom. A long zip in as well from GPK. They've shown up in the nick of time to keep the Spectre alive, and now GPK is going to turn to Yang as well, but they haven't gone on top of the sniper. So XM could just pummel into GPK with the help of the Black Hole, locking him down. VP, it was a tricky play. Ramses went for it, just trying to bring down Frisch, but in the end, he just baited GPK.
I think they just wanted any kind of situation to try and make it an actual 5v5 again, right? He'd used the buyback previously on the Tusk. They wanted to make sure that they could get that one for free. As yeah, any sort of situation, again, pick-off-oriented lineup, they just didn't quite have the damage to be able to get that one there. And, I mean, look at this. Chain stuns coming through. And it's that Chronosphere once more, just able to lock him in. Well, never mind, not the Chronosphere, but they're able to lock him in and burst him down. The Black Hole, never mind. There's just so many big ultimates happening this game.
There's a lot to keep up with. Both sides, honestly, have some big ultimates. Even, I suppose, the Storm Spirit with this Scepter is going Refresher as well for GPK. Do we need more like big AoE abilities to keep track of in these fights? I don't know. That is a big item nonetheless, though. Erica with a butterfly now completed.
I mean, if you could get that plus the Aghanim Shard on GPK, then you actually can make those individual plays that he's going for. Yeah, full on smoke. They're trying to connect in onto Ramses. They could probably have a look, left click, see the duration on the illusions. They know he's not too far away. But Erica just guesses wrong.
They've got very good vision here, Virtus.pro. They should stay by this ward. Storm Spirit's going to be up in 5 seconds.
Oh, vision's
Someone
gone.
needs to address with mid, and Deem's going to do just that.
Damage just looking to play around this. He is a big part of that damage potential. He's going for the Tombstone on Death Tower, and I was considering maybe he would go for the extra low decay cooldown, just so that you can, again, continue to stand there on the front line, spam it out, give your carries the best chance to be able to find those pickoffs.
Ooh, look at the little nook they're in.
Yeah, those Eidolons not going to find
They
him.
spied up Yamich. Yokota attempted. Erica,
it's a big
another
creep
person
wave.
with the level 25.
Got a minute
Went for
left on
the
this Aegis.
Dire's top tower.
See what they can do. Maybe poke and prod, force them back. Try to give them an opportunity to try and D-ward. In fact, Virtus.pro, they're going to smoke up. They will be too late to protect this high ground ward.
Top tower is
Now it's going to make it very difficult for them to actually take a fight in this bottom jungle. They're going to have to look to go elsewhere.
I mean, who TP's back is the better question for me. They're going to pop the glyph for now, use that to try and push this one out. Actually move back the Eidolon, so I was thinking maybe they would try and soak up a little bit of that tower damage, but
Dire's top tower.
looks like they won't need to make a retreat just yet. Virtus.pro trying to find Vici as they're running back towards their base. This one out.
Yamich?
Yeah, he's just pushing this one in on his own. It's a game of baiting right now. Who will take it? Who's the one that's going to be caught out of position?
Dire's top tower.
So what do we got? Age is about to expire here from Erica, but he's got Refresher Shard in the backpack.
Two
Refresher
lanes pushing
Orb
in.
was also completed for BAB. So potential double black hole as a threat here for Virtus.pro.
Double Vortex is potentially coming for GPK too. It's coming in on the courier right now as we speak. So it feels like...
He's got that Timeless Relic too.
Yeah. I mean, Vici Gaming just need to make sure they're not clumping up, essentially. Like, if they get that big Vortex onto multiple, you might be able to save one with the Tusk, but I don't think he's going to be able to find a line.
DM? So aggressive Blink and BAB. They even need the black hole. XM's use of the Silver's Edge just blows up DM. Again, this tied onto this is not a game where you can position like this. They've got multiple abilities that do not care about Kraken Shell, and well, now you've even got a Silver's Edge that can just break it.
This is the big item coming through from Vici. That Silver Edge is going to completely turn how quickly these team fights end. And I mean, when you think about Virtus.pro, they want these team fights to last a while. You've got an Undying, you've got a Spectre that's able to make full use out of that dispersion, but if you're able to just completely wipe off a hero, then suddenly their formation goes away. And a DD on the top side, who's going to be the first one to grab vision of it. GPK does feel like he really wants that level 25 for himself. It's tempting to go for these individual pickoffs, but if they could just wait, if they could just be a little bit more patient, play around their wards, then that could certainly be the big additional damage output that you need to turn these fights in your favor.
Yeah, we see the issue though that like VP, they've lost the gem, so it's very awkward for them to be playing around just one observe ward. They have so many across the map.
Oh yeah.
So I wonder what the cooldown is at the moment here for gem for VP, because I think you need to pick that up as soon as it's available to buy.
Undying
And
having
again-
his level 25 would be pretty significant as well. I mean, Yamich as a support, very, very high net worth, relevant essentially to GPK there. Just spamming out those lanes with the decay, and if you get reincarnation, then again, you use the black hole, you use the chronosphere, he's right back in it.
VP cannot keep losing these observer wards. You need a place to take a team fight. They might look attempt now with the double damage rune.
He's not there yet.
Gonna zip in, make sure they don't group up because the black holes are the ready. BAB off to the right side, but they brought down the Snapfire. Yamich stuck in the middle with the Static Storm. It's onto the face of its void, but BAB is gonna try and move in forward, but he went straight into the Static Storm, so BAB steps out to the right, lays down the ultimate, but the Ravage stops him short, and now they're on to XM. He's pushing them back and forth, the concussive grenade to get some disses, the tentacles to hold them down, but no one's right-clicking the sniper. As Vici Gaming, multiple heroes buying back to look to take the team fight. Yamich off to the right. They will not be able to cancel the TP. Another heavy investment out of Vici Gaming, but that was an incredible static storm to secure that team fight from Hyakoda.
Oh, absolutely. He's just able to secure that one. So many buybacks being expended now. And the only one that's got it remaining is going to be the sniper. So one more team fight means big things for Virtus.pro. Here we go. We get to see the replay again. GPK just baiting out some of those BKBs on the back lines, waiting for the short duration to expire, and then perfect usage out of it, making sure you catch out the key target, the one that's going to be controlling the Storm Spirit. It's a decent enough usage there by BAB, but even the glimpse back there, mid-black hole.
Because he just jumped into the static storm, so he wasted a little bit of that BKB duration. So I had to step away, a little bit awkward. Yamich gets a triple kill, and you were just mentioning about his experience in the level 25. Well, he has the reincarnation cooldown now. Undying, playing with a lot of extra help here in these team fights. And like you said, one more victory for Virtus.pro, and they might have just cracked open this game.
We going to get 60 minutes? You think we got tier 5 items?
I
don't think Virtus.pro want that. I think Virtus.pro want to end this game as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
I'm banking on it.
Yeah, I was just going to agree with... I don't think we'll get there, because I think Vici Gaming, they lose one fight, this game's over. So their next team fight has to be perfectly executed.
They know exactly where they are right now as well. At Cliff Ward, seeing a lot of the movements coming through. I think Frisk was just on the edge of it, so don't think he was quite scouted out, but they're actually just got a full-on commit into this Roche pit.
No way.
They're going to get away with this?
No. Oh, God. 51 minutes in and you get a free Roche. That is huge. Erica bought back prior, so they'll probably give him the ages.
Does Frisk get this?
Reading it coming. Oh. All right, what do we got? Cheese, Refresher Shard onto Yang. Erica's going to get the ages and the Aghanim's Blessing. And
vision.
what? Oh. Okay. Yang, no messing around with the BKB issues. Hyakoda's chasing, looking for the glimpse back. Erica's aware of this. They have the ward in the river, so they know exactly where the Disruptor's positioning.
They do, but they also don't see everyone else over to the right-hand side. They know that there's no BKB on Yang, so
Virtus.pro
DM
nearby.
jumps. Extra
Yami drops a Tombstone.
Ooh. Extra 1 second on the Ravage Stun as well. So it's a long, long amount of lockdown that they've got. Not quite into the Refresher Orb just yet, but it's still very dangerous, especially when you're lacking those buybacks.
I'm going to keep tab once again on the kind of the Roche components. Erica was still holding a Refresher Shard from the third Roche. So they have 2 Refresher Shards here from Vici Gaming. So let's see if they can get their abilities off firstly. I mean, that is a big thing. In the last fight, they weren't able to do so.
I mean, your game plan, not to say that it never was this, but
Zip in, GPK is going to be able to catch out Yang. Forces a reaction from Frisk. But because if they group up, Hyakoda's going to try and find an angle, but the solo Chronosphere getting rid of the Static Storm throughout the team fight. Now Erica's going to jump forward onto DM. The rest of Vici Gaming slow to connect. DM should be able to escape with the blink back up. They do have a great ward in the river, so Vici Gaming know exactly where Virtus.pro retreating out to, and Erica is going to continue the chase. They're alone at the moment here. The rest of Vici slowing down to follow up with Erica, still moving on forward. Where's the help coming through from DM? It's just the 1v1 at the moment. I think DM might be okay, though.
I don't think they're afraid at all on Vici as long as that Disruptor is in the grave. If he's dead, they're just going to keep moving on forward. That's the only way they feel they're going to lose these team fights, is with a fantastic Static Storm like we've seen out of Hyakoda. That's why that pickoff was so huge. It's going to allow them to move out onto the map with complete freedom, especially knowing that he would have TP'd all the way back to base on DM. There's just no lockdown.
Oh, they got an Arcane Rune. It's a big rune for Radiant to play with. It looks like Yamich even setting up for a pickoff. Oh, they got vision of him. Great reactions.
What's the vision look like now for Virtus.pro? Just that one ward on the high ground next to where Hyakoda died previously. They really want to get usage out of this Aegis here. Time left on buybacks. They're up. All of them are available on the key heroes, the cores. Well, I guess you've got the second life on the Faceless Void. That's the key one for Vici Gaming right now.
Yamich. They might look for a solo kill on BAB. If he sticks around with his Observer ward. Aeon Disc was just completed, so it's being delivered. There's some big corries if Yamich can kill them. He might look for the next one with Enigmas coming out.
If he sees it in time. He's got the Blink Dagger, so it would be well worth it.
That's a big courier. Yeah, he's going to go for it.
So now, essentially, they need to play a little bit more passively for the next 3 minutes, right? They wanted to make use out of this Aegis. Minute 40 left on the cooldown, on the duration, rather. And no buyback available on Enigma for the next 2.5 minutes. So it does give them a little bit more anxiety towards this.
Zip in, GPK, a long zip in onto Tusk. Gotta be cautious because the threat of the black hole. Oh, close.
They didn't quite have the damage to be able to take him out. If there was a sniper there, I think BAB would have gone for it. We're getting closer to that 60 minutes, Locky. It's gonna happen.
All right, we'll see. Who pop refresher?
Frisk.
There's so many. I'm trying
He
to
wanted the BKB back.
Bottom lane's getting shoved out. This would be a good avenue.
Radiant are scanning.
VP, they're going to stick around here because Vici Gaming positioned as well. XM's really far forward.
Oh, they just TP'd away on the Tusk as well. The save is gone.
And Yamich,
DM?
they got the high ground vision. They see exactly where XM is, and look at DM with the Ravage. Sets up for the static storm, the double Ravage as well. As Vici are out of the count. They can surround on the second. Rochepa to the northern side by the pit. They'll deal with the Enigma. And Erica, he's by himself. Vici Gaming, they're starting to rejoin the fight. Off the back of the buybacks, the Chronosphere's out. They'll be able to deal with the Undying, but the reincarnation means that he can come back and set up for Virtus.pro to clean up this game.
They got a full-on retreat again. Again, multiple buybacks being used, and this isn't what you want to get out of your Aegis timing. They've just got it down to the absolute second on Virtus.pro and punishing the fact that Frisk had TP'd all the way back to base. That all happened just because he's still holding on to these boots of speed and the windlace. It really does feel like something along the lines of the Tranquil boots would have allowed him to just stay back out on the map, instantly go in. What a great Ravage. He actually time walks back, uses the reverse time walk there, not even waiting. Double Ravage being popped. What a great kill to be able to pick up onto XM. At least he's got the Aeon Disc now on the sniper. Do we have any nullifiers or anything along those lines being purchased up? Doesn't seem to be the case. But we do have a Wind Waker for GPK coming next, realizing the strength of that Chronosphere and the Black Hole.
Oh, is this game going to slow back down now? Because it looks like Radiant with their ultimates on cooldown, they weren't able to crack high ground. So Erica's buyback's back up. Friska's a buyback. And BAB just needs the gold. It's still going to take a little bit of time. 800 required, but we might get 60 minutes.
I kind of want to see an Undying with Giant's Ring, man. He's already so huge once he gets those decays off and he pops the BKB. That Yamich is just going to be an absolute beast.
Oh, God.
I mean, he's even going the Strength Blink as well, so the damage output from Yamich is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's possible to... Sorry to interrupt, I'm not sure if it's possible to see the damage done so far this game, because I feel like Yamich is going to be up there. Even just popping
you
the
bet it's possible
to be able to assist with some of this pushing. There we go.
Third highest on his team.
Still pretty significant, but yeah, look at that from Ramses. All coming through from him, all of that pure damage as well. He's going into the Aghanim's Blessing. Do you have an item to come after that? Let's have a think of what he might be looking for. I don't see any MKBs purchased up just yet, so a Butterfly wouldn't be the worst for him. Kind of slot-starved as well on Vici Gaming with what they would be wanting to sell. Even just going into a second Silver Edge on the Faceless Void.
Ramses too could consider MKB because Erica and Sniper both had Butterfly. So I'm a Butterfly or MKB. We'll see what else he wants to go for. You even could consider, I mean, Refresher on Spectre again doesn't have as much value because you don't want to keep in your inventory. Like that was the thing about kind of late game carries. When you get this farmed, you could go into that Refresher route because you can just backpack it. But I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore.
Here we go. You might be able to get there. It feels like it's the case, and they're just like, keep these lanes pushed out. Give us the option to be able to just farm out our jungle and make it really obvious if they're looking to go for a gank attempt as we try and be a little bit more greedy. Pick up that next item for ourselves. GPK, he's got the Wind Waker finished.
So what do we feel like are some of the conditions in the fights here for Vici Gaming? Because being down 10,000 gold, what needs to go right for them in this next skirmish?
Hakoda's got to die. If Hakoda's dead, I think you're incredibly happy. It means that you're always going to be able to pop that BKB. They're fast enough. They're playing on land. You should be able to get the BKBs off without worrying about the Ravage. There we go. We ticked over 60 minutes, and immediately Vici place the vision, go for the Ancients that have the higher likelihood of dropping. Absolutely nothing. Thank you very much, Gaben.
Oh, we got the Giants ring.
Yes, for both teams.
Both sides got the Giants ring, so we'll see who holds it on Vici, but importantly, give him the Undying Giants ring. Come on. I mean, kind of nice for DM, but no, I agree. I think I want this Undying to have it. Where is he? Come on.
Havoc Hammer's pretty good too, just in general, with the strength bonus that you're able to get with that AoE damage. Fallen Sky is insane as well. Who do you even give that to? I guess the Tide.
That's really good for Tide, yeah. Just a little bit of extra mobility here for him to like get into the middle of these fights. It's going Arcane Blink next as well for DM. Oh, God.
Ravage into the Fallen Sky, into the Ravage. Ooh.
Oh, Ramses has it. Look at him. Look at Ramses with a Giants ring.
That's the stuff of nightmares right there.
Have they got the others yet?
No.
I still need 2. Man, what does late game Dota come to? What's going on? I've lost track of how many big ultimates I have to look at, all the refreshers we got. I don't know if Dies used all their refresher shots. Okay, yeah, looks like they don't have any more components from Roche, but oh my. This is going to be a crazy next fight.
I mean, you just know that if you miss one of the 50 things that's happening, it's like, yeah, you didn't see this. So...
No, that's where you come into play. Dude, Yamish he's dropping tombstone leisurely. This guy does not give a damn. GPK? A zip in onto Erica. Static Storm as well. Faces Void. He needs help and he's not going to get it. And DM, he's ready to go with the second round of the Ravage off to the left side. They need a way to get onto XM and DM. He'll attempt it. But a BKB buying XM some time. The Wind Waker now inside the black hole. So the Spectre, they're trying to continue to pummel into Ramses, but somehow they haven't got the damage. Erica tries to get into the middle. Finally, the Chronosphere's out. Clipping onto the Storm Spirit. Where's the damage coming through? XM's in trouble, trying to get away with a Silver's Edge, like a custom grenade as well. XM just forced to stand his ground. The Mana, but they'll secure the kill. And a Virtus.pro going to Frisk. 3 down without a buyback. This might be all she wrote. As Virtus.pro will send us to a game 3. What a final fight to do it. BAB will drop, and Erica the sole survivor, but not for long, as G's had dropped, and Virtus.pro will do it. Smile as well for good measure.
Just the Eastern Europe smile. You love to see it, and it's coming through. GPK for mine, MVP of that game. I was mentioning it before that it felt like he needed to do everything. I was talking about damage previously, but the first Wind Waker save on the first black hole, he refreshes specifically just to use Wind Waker a second time onto Ramses. All of that additional survivability means you get much more value coming out, and look at the difference between the VP and the Vici rooms. They're just having a look.